shot a lot.
So what was left out in the film?
The film was supposed to be 4 hours long, and everybody was telling me that I'm crazy making a 16mm 4-hour long film. But it was supposed to start out with Val, and then go to the people around her, and then like expand even further to see just places and landscapes. And then it would go back to Val again and conclude Val's story. But after I shot the scene with the children, and it was Val's idea, I was actually pretty reluctant to shoot it, but Val thought we should. And I think Val is often more right than I am. I always realize much later in the process how right she is. So she suggested that I shoot it, and I did. And when I shot it, I knew that I wanted to end the film with that because it just provided such a great conclusion, you know, to showing the next generation who's going to grow up in the society that we make today, and how for them they don't have notions of class or race or language yet. You know, it's hope for me, and so the ending for me is really hopeful. And so I decided to cut all that, you know, and just focus on people instead of landscapes. Yeah, and I shot a lot of like 50 rolls of 16mm, and and I have to. Well, I'm planning to use the landscape footage to make a landscape film, but it won't be part of this film. It's a different film.
So there were other characters that were left out, or are you saying that you've shot a lot of, you know, Val and other characters, but then you've cut it down, or were there other characters that you have left out?
There were some characters who were left out because I thought that they were either repeating what somebody else said, or they were, you know, they were talking about things that were completely different. But I do think like those characters were super important too, so I'm thinking of incorporating them into a new film.
Sequel or the DVD release.
Yeah, director's cut.
Director's cut, yeah. Directors love director's cut releases. Yes. Why were some parts so grainy? Okay.
Because I didn't use lights. And film is amazing because you don't have to use lights and it still appears. Like one of the last shots with in total darkness with the face appearing, that was illuminated by a computer screen. And I love film because you don't have to worry about your f-stop. You know, you can just shoot whatever you want and it'll still come out. And that's what video can never do.
The man in the back, please.
Was it an intentional decision to involve so much of the people around you? Was that generated from the very beginning, or was it more organic, like along the way you decided to shoot the people around you?
Okay, so can everybody hear that question? So at the beginning it was supposed to be, okay, I came in because I wanted to remake Europa 51, you know, which was Val's story. And then at one point, Val, I didn't know if Val could commit to the project, so I started thinking of, but I already bought all the film stock, so I had to make a film. And I was thinking of doing The Man with a Movie Camera, if you know, the Vertov film. And I wanted to show portraits of society and the different classes. And so I wanted to start with the people around me, and then expand to the people, you know, a lot of other people. But in the end, Val could make it again. So I decided that it would be a good idea to just mash those two films together, and maybe people can have something to compare the two films, you know. And so that's what I did. So the second part was basically I wanted to shoot people around me, and then literally shoot society around me. So I'm Val who's rediscovering society, which is really my story too. And but I did shoot a lot of other people, you know, like people I didn't know that we later became really good friends. But you know, a lot of them just ended up being cut out because I think my family formed a really strong core, and when I didn't want other people to be just comparisons, you know. They shouldn't exist just to be compared to my family. So the people who are left in are really significant to me too. They are really good friends of mine. And what was I gonna say? I think that's it.
There was another man who raised his hand. Yes.
Sorry? Oh,
Why you name your characters plays? Or players?
the players. That's what I do in all my films. It's the players is a way of saying actors. It's a old Hollywood. In old Hollywood films, credits are always the players, not the cast. And they are playing a version of themselves, you know. It's not entirely documentary.
There are two more hands in the middle. Yes, sir.
Was the intentional use of stills made such a way that you will feel like you are expecting stills?
Of
Was
stills.
the intentional use of stills?
As in, you freeze the frame, you didn't follow the character.
Or the still shots after the characters
Static
exit?
shots.
Oh, okay. Was that just to clarify your question?
You didn't quite pan or use zooming. It was like still kind of shot.
Okay, I get what you mean. So you mean the camera doesn't move and it's static. So I think what irritates me the most in contemporary cinema is that it reframes too much. You know, I think the camera should be an independent entity, right? You know, you shouldn't want to see everything because it's impossible to see everything. You know, it's kind of like a bracket, so you bracket things off. You know, so and the fact is I like to shoot close-ups, and close-ups. In close-ups, you are literally bracketing things off. You choose what you want to see and what you don't want to see. And sometimes when the characters move out of frame and into frame again, you know, that's a way of saying that there are things that that exist beyond them. And I think a lot of this film is about what exists beyond us. You know what I mean? So
There was another hand in the middle just now when suddenly four hands shot up. Or was that just an iPhone game or something? Yes.
In a lot of the portraits, you keep shooting beyond the point where the subjects are prepared to be. You stretch the locations, and also the audiences. Can you talk about that? At which point do you decide to cut? Is that arbitrary point?
no cuts are arbitrary. No shots are arbitrary too.
So what do you decide those cuts based on? Where you want to be?
Well, based on emotions, I think Val's monologue was the most significant for me because I held on to her face for like almost a minute after she finishes talking, and I thought the minute was the most important thing in the entire monologue because once she stopped talking, she feels.
Then she just
Mm. And I felt it too. And I felt like that was the important part of the monologue. I think when we talk, we don't feel or think. You know, words come from somewhere else. It comes to us. They come to us. And after the words leave us, we're left with the trace of the words. And that's emotions.